So imagine what happens, right? You're sitting down to a meal with your kid, and in the back of your mind, you know this is your last meal you'll ever have. You've run out of food, there's nothing left, there's a famine, there's no water, there's no food. You're sitting down to have a meal, and you're gonna die afterwards from starvation. What's worse is your last meal is just some lousy, cheap, flat bread because all you have left is just a little bit of oil and a little bit of flour left to make this. Now, I have a daughter, I have a 2-year-old, she'll be 3 soon, that I couldn't imagine what this widow is going through. You know, she's obviously lost her husband. I picture myself as like this widower, right? I have no wife anymore. I have a kid that I'm trying to take care of. And I know in the back of my mind that my job to provide for my child, I have failed at, not on my own volition, but because there's no other thing that I can do. There's no circumstances I can fix this with. And we are about to sit down and eat our last meal together and then potentially die. But then someone knocks on the door. This guy walks in and says, hey, so check it out. God told me to do this. I see you're making some food. Why don't you go ahead and fix me a cake first? So the lady has fixed her last cake, her last meal for her and her son, and yet this guy walks in. And you know what she does? And I picture myself in that situation. What would I have done? I would have probably kicked this dude out the door, right? But no, she trusts this guy. She trusts what God says. She says, okay, I'm gonna take you at your word. She gives Elijah the food. He eats it, and then he says, hey, go make another one. Now, I don't know, in my mind, I'd want to strangle this dude because I literally just told him, no, don't you remember? I have none left. This is all I have left. But when she walked back there to check it out, there was just enough oil and just enough flour for another loaf of bread for her and her son. And check this out. When Elijah left, the next day she went back there, there was just enough oil and just enough flour. The next day there was just enough oil and just enough flour. Until the drought, the famine, all that stuff ended, every single day there was enough oil and there was enough flour for her and her son to eat. Now here's the cool thing about this. She didn't walk back there and just see the storehouse full of food. She saw just enough for that day. And that's what God asks of us, to trust Him for our daily bread. That's where that comes from. When Jesus is talking in the New Testament, he talks about this idea of trusting God daily, not just, hey, just provide for me the storehouse and I'll be good to go. No, hey God, I need you on a daily basis. And that's the lesson we see from this story. So think about that. Do you really trust God daily to give you what you need? Not just what you want, but what you need. For more videos, check out the site right here, briandrakeshow.com. You can check out some other videos we put right up here, and we'll see you next time.